everywhere. It comes in different forms, some tangible, some not. But however it is created, it is to be appreciated by the mass. This week on DV, we're going around the city with Ivy and Faye to explore various crafts of art and speaking with the key figures behind showcasing it. Let's start in Central, where Ivy visits an iconic neighborhood known for its art scene.
Up here on Hollywood Road is one of the first paved roads of Hong Kong. These stone pavements have witnessed the incubation of the local art scene. And as times changed, so has the art world. Local arts and cultural heritage has faced many challenges, and yet it provides new opportunity for existing galleries and artists to pave a new way for the future. So how important is art to the development of culture? Let's hear from someone who's witnessed it firsthand.
Culture certainly encompasses a lot of things, but art arguably has the greatest influence. As the Hong Kong art scene evolves, it's nice to gain some perspective of where it once was.
So Sally, how long have you been in the art industry?
Since I was young, it's like traditional Chinese family. We start to help like parents moving antiques around in the house, in the gallery, and it's the way I get their influence and learn about all these things. I'm so fortunate that I witnessed the historical change and evolving art scene in Hong Kong. Trading art and learning from our childhood gives us so much opportunity. Like my whole family, they are passionate about this gallery. Yeah.
How did they get started in the gallery?
He handed over. Art industry in Hong Kong was like the golden age. And along the street, there are so many families like ours, trading art and learning from all the treasure hunters come from all over the world. I became so in love with these things as my Western friends. They always appreciate my traditional Chinese background and what I can share with them, the stories. I realized that is my unique ability, to connect the world as well.
What was Hollywood Road like? Because you see here now, it's just restaurants and so on.
It's a bit heartache to see our neighbors and other dealers to close down. But I'm hopeful because I think Hong Kong always have the spirit for transformation and embrace the change is what life is.
Did they all sell spiritual art or traditional art like that?
At first, my family started to sell Chinese old world antiques. And then, because of my spiritual journey, I bring in a lot of Tibetan art and collection.
Oh, so that was your initiative?
Yes. This passion helped me to go through many crises in Hong Kong.
So where do you see the local art scene growing in the future?
Well, from the humble beginning, Hong Kong became the center of Asia in the art scene and also the flagship of Art Basel. Now we have our Empress Museum, Palace Museum, all these amazing international galleries. So I am very confident, with the change, the digital art and metaverse, NFT, that brings us so much more opportunity and great potential because our expertise to China and something the market couldn't do allow us to have so much interesting exhibitions, interesting art events, to promote local artists. I think is very optimistic.
The support of young local artists is certainly making the future of this art scene look bright. Seems like Ivy is still on a mission to find out more. Let's see what else she has in store for us.
Galleries are the backbones of the art world and provide space for art to be appreciated. Walking along Hollywood Road, the inspiration is palpable and knows no bounds. No matter if we're talking about contemporary or classical art, local or international art, Hong Kong has a place for it. So Annie, what do you do here?
Yeah, so I'm the director of the gallery here, mostly focusing on managing the exhibitions, our art advisory sector and the sales, and then also helping with research and curation of each exhibition.
I see. Well, what do you think about opening this gallery here then?
So our founder, Arthur, he has been in Hong Kong for over a decade, actually. And he came to Hong Kong when he was very young. He was working, and instantly he fell in love with the city. He's someone who grew up with arts and creativity all around his life. His mother was an artist, and his sister is also an artist. So art has always been in his DNA. And by 2020, he decided that it's finally a good time to focus his efforts on his passion for art and his long-term friendships with artists. So
it's really surprising because 2020, that's at the peak of the pandemic.
Yeah, we actually opened right during March 2020, which is the peak of the pandemic. And Arthur, together with his father, Mr. Dominique de Villepin, he was the former Prime Minister of France, and he also came here for the opening. So it was a really bold move for them to open a gallery at that time. But again, it is in these turbulent and interesting times that you do something that's different.
What do you think is most unique about this gallery?
The most unique thing about the gallery is our curation and how much effort we put into the research into the gallery. As you can see, from walking up to the gallery, we're not a traditional white cubed gallery in a sense that we don't just hang artworks on a white wall to show the paintings, but we really put in the effort to curate the whole space, add in little details of each artist. For example, the bar that you see here, this is based on the Colony Room Club bar from the 1960s that Francis Bacon used to go to every day. So we have photos of him here, hanging out with his friends, and that's where he met all his artist friends and his art circle. So these are the little details that we want to bring into the exhibition for the full experience of each visitor. Every single section of the exhibition is different. When you walk in, you see Francis Bacon's studio. So we actually recreated his 1960s studio, exactly what it looked like. So we researched into the types of, the brands of paintings that he would use, the type of canned food that he liked to eat, where he would put his brushes on laterwards. And then sometimes instead of using paint brushes, he would paint with his pair of corduroy pants.
Yeah, it really looks like the entire interiors just came out of the photo that you've got of him. Yeah, so it's quite a mess, I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because Francis Bacon is an artist who really is born from chaos. He is inspired by chaos. He's someone, he was born in 1909 and passed away in 1992. So he lived through 2 of the world wars and went through a lot of trauma and inner struggles. So once you walk into our exhibition, that's the sort of experience that we want to show visitors first. And every time when someone walks in, they get really shocked and surprised at what we are showing, because they're expecting to see paintings, but you actually see the artist's studio first.
Yeah. Do you do this for every exhibition?
So far, yes. Every single exhibition, we incorporate all these little elements to the show. Renovating and redesigning the whole space from the ground, the materials of the floor and the walls, and each of the shapes.
Where do you see the art scene going in Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, I think there has been a lot of changes throughout the year. Pre-COVID days, the art market was booming, and I believe that Hong Kong is and always will be Asia's, art hub for the art market. Through the pandemic, everything was slowing down, but actually there has been a lot of new galleries opening up in Hong Kong, and especially in the central area. And these are younger galleries that are bringing new ideas, young and emerging artists to the city. So compared to, say, pre-COVID days, the market now is actually more sophisticated and more diverse. And then what's amazing is last year we saw the opening of major institutions such as M+. And then this year we have the Palace Museum. So everything is adding to the arts ecosystem. Not only do we have galleries, auction houses, art fairs, now we also have major institutions that are, the best of the world. Also, Hong Kong has always been under international influence. It's such a diverse world. We really get cultures from everywhere. And from the beginning, we were the Asia destination for the Art Basel Fair. So from the start, we already had a lot of international collectors coming in. And what's interesting to see is that since the pandemic has happened, we see a lot of collectors looking inward, so looking locally. And people they have been starting to collect younger artists that are from Hong Kong, either graduated from Hong Kong or have artist studios in Hong Kong. And I think that's a great trend to have, to really focus efforts on our local artists. And that's also something that we are gonna work with in terms of the planning for the next exhibitions.
From the outside looking in, Hong Kong never stopped being known as a cultural hub. It is beset with regional and international influences, especially from the art world. And art is food for culture. But to keep up with the times, galleries and art scene will have to evolve to engage with the next generation of art enthusiasts and keep culture alive. They can incorporate new technologies or make exhibitions more experiential, just like this place.
After visiting different art galleries on the iconic Hollywood Road with Ivy, we're back and in Saiwan to check out a different type of art, one that is also experiential yet appreciated in a different way. Let's join Faye in trying to understand how musical entertainment can help remedy the stagnant energy that has been ailing the city.
What is the true value of musical entertainment? Musicals are beautiful portrayals of a world that consists of dreams and aspirations. We've always been told to dream big, follow your dreams, and make them your reality. Everyone has a dream, but for those who love musicals, they're constantly dreaming big and putting their vision to life. Now let's go learn more about it.
Now this definitely looks like a jolt in the arm for the city. Can't wait to find out more about this musical production. So, who are we speaking to first, Faye?
I'm the producer of the magic of musical.
Okay.
So technically speaking, it's like doing everything. From picking the creative elements and also like forming the crew, the team, like the choreographer, director, talent, and also like, booking venues, like selling tickets.
So basically everything.
Yes,
as
everything.
A producer.
Correct.
Wow. So, we had COVID for quite 2-3 years almost. And what are the difficulties during this time?
A lot of like touring musical came to Hong Kong in the past.
Right.
But in the past few years, the cast cannot come to Hong Kong. So in this way that we've tried to like find our local talent to try to produce a show that like purely 100% locally produced. And actually a lot of like great talents that we can find in Hong Kong in the past like 15 years that we groom a lot of like great talent.
For this show, what do you want the audience to, feel after they watch it?
Musical is like a form of arts that consists of singing, dancing, and acting. So it's actually like a lot like more complicated than the other performing arts. This time actually we're using like a concert style, let the audience to feel like more closer to what they used to watch. And then like we are having a lot of different musical numbers that we perform in the show. Actually for this musical, we are going to have like a live orchestra on stage. And then we will have like 11 singers, like 8 dancers, and also like a group of like choir that like more than 100 people is on the stage. For me, I like live entertainment, like live performance. So you really feel the energy, the passions, and then like, it was like coming directly from the talent. So that like, I hope the audience will love it.
This certainly sounds like a family-friendly night out with something for everyone. And there's an orchestra. What a treat. I wonder what else they have prepared for us. Who's next, Faye?
My name is Stephen. I'm the conductor of the concert in the coming late August.
Okay.
So I and my musicians, who are the members of the Ponte Orchestra, are going to present a very wonderful concert.
Right.
I actually have a lot of roles. The first of it, the most important one, is to organize the rehearsals.
Okay.
Because I have to make sure that through the rehearsals, they can make all the notes correctly, the intonation, the rhythm, and everything is in order.
Right.
So exactly on the day of performance, I have to do the balancing of each instrument. Make sure that everyone sings well and the music goes well with the singers and everything. A lot of musical shows, especially in Hong Kong, they use the MMO, so it's like the electronic background music. So using the orchestra is gives you a very full sound, and there's something that is irreplaceable. That is the live orchestra or the live performance. That is not the electronic background music can compare with. So I think the live orchestra has its own charm.
On stage, it's going to be like very powerful.
Yeah, and more colorful too. Like I'm sure that a lot of the audience know the songs, but with orchestra versions, they might experience something very different because I think some of the songs are very specially arranged. I think they never hear about the orchestra versions. I think that's worth doing that. Okay.
Do you think being a conductor in Hong Kong is hard, like especially during COVID?
During the COVID, it's very hard, not just for conductor, but also for the musicians or for all the artists, because all the performing venues are closed. But I think everyone is trying their best to do the performance. So that's why this time, I think it's quite a big venue, a big orchestra production. So I think that is quite encouraging to us artists. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Kershel. It's very a pleasure meeting you. Can you introduce a little bit about yourself and what your part is in the musical?
Okay, I'm Kershel Kunsuni, and actually my background is in musical theater.
Oh, really?
Yes, I started musicals when I was 10.
Okay.
I started performing professionally as part of Repertory Philippines.
Okay.
So I was a child actor.
Wow.
And music was really my way to communicate. And yeah, I didn't know anything about acting on stage or of course, I love to dance like many children do, but I didn't realize there was such a thing as musical theater until I think I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
I went to the theater, my parents brought me there, and I saw a show, a musical, and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is the story behind this musical?
Well, this musical is basically a montage of different musicals. So the production team put together the shows that they loved. I think that's where it starts. I mean, it's the passion for performing.
So what do you want the audience to take right after they watch your musical?
I think during this time, and it's post-COVID pandemic, you know, around the world, I think we really need to amplify hope right now, you know, and I think going to a musical show, it just allows you to hope and dream. Really explore again what we can do. You know, we've been constrained for the past 2 years, and now it's about to break free. I think what a lot of people don't realize about musical theater is that it takes a lot of work to do it. Right? Yeah, because, for example, you were saying, oh, you're acting through music, through song. Actually, first you have to be technically precise. You need to be able to know your music, and then you put the text in. You're studying how to say these lines, how to tell the story.
I know that you guys actually created a song especially for this musical. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yes, so we have an original song called Dream Big, following that feeling of hopes and dreams and aspirations. I think we hope that many of the young people who are watching the show will actually be inspired to follow their dreams, right? To pursue the arts as well. You know, there are so many young people nowadays who want to explore singing, dancing, drama, and we live in a time when that's possible.
Hi, Chloe. Hi, Irene. Nice meeting you. Can you briefly explain what is your role in the musical?
We're two performers in the magic of musicals, and we'll be performing different songs, and we'll be acting and dancing as well.
Oh, wow. Did you learn acting and dancing before? Or
Not really.
Not really?
I've just experienced a little bit.
So what do you think that, you know, is your biggest take being here?
I think we've been able to experience and learn some new popular songs. It's good to socialize with other talented people who love to sing, dance, and act. And I think we can learn a lot from them.
What do you want the audience to feel after they watch your musical?
I want them to feel excited and fun and very content after watching our whole concert and show, because the performers have put in a lot of effort into creating a wonderful show for them, and I feel that they will be enjoying this very much.
After speaking with them, I can definitely say that this is not an easy task. Each individual takes on an important role in order to make the show come alive. But no matter how big or small that role may be, everyone comes together and make the show happen. The emphasis on a small minor detail in a music performance makes a world of a difference for the audience. When something sounds right, it's music to your ears, and this definitely sounds right.